Hi, David. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, David.
Hey, Barbara, I see that you're trading these units. You're flying up like crazy here. I was going to ask you, is there a call today or no? Is it off Saturday and Sunday or what?
It's just off Sunday, so there is a call today, yes.
Because the reason why I ask is I'm trying to log on, and this is the first time when I click on the link to get on the Zoom link, and it's asking for a password.
Oh, yeah, that was supposed to start on Monday, I thought, but maybe it started today. Okay.
So you know, because it says enter meeting password. So I'm seeing that. So you might want to let other people know too that are trying to get on. So they're like, hey, what's going on here? Like me. So
perfect. Thank you for letting me know, David.
Yeah, so send that over and then I'll get on the call, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Hello, guys. Hi. Sorry about that. That's a new update. I thought it wasn't supposed to start until Monday, but it looks like it started today already. I'm sending text messages to some of our regulars to make sure that they have the info for the password.
There we go. First, I couldn't hear you, but I had to, oh, yeah, okay. So how come we had to have, what'd you say?
I was just saying that this password thing was supposed to start Monday. It's a new security feature.
No, it's no premium for the chronic benefit.
But
Again, the premiums after you make an acceleration would be.
Okay, he must be on the phone or something. I don't think that was for us. So the password was supposed to start Monday, but it looks like it started already today. So I am sending a message to all of the regulars to make sure that they at least know how to get on. And I did post it in the group just a moment ago. So
Okay.
we're going to give it a few extra minutes on this one because of that extra confusion. It also now is like requiring me to have, like it's putting people in a waiting room and then I have to admit them. And so I'm wondering if I can make some of you guys hosts so that while I'm talking, somebody can keep an eye on that. Would anybody feel comfortable doing that?
I mean, I could.
You want me to make you a host and see if you could try it? I'm gonna make you a host now, Marie.
So what do I have to do though? How does it work?
So the next person who tries to pop on, it will show like, you know where your chat area is? It's like
Yeah.
right in the same area there. Actually, or if you click on participants, there'll be a participants slot, just like the chat slot, and it will show you anybody who's trying to get on. There aren't anybody right now, but
Okay.
when somebody tries, I'll let you know and then you can test it.
Okay. So how was your meeting this morning?
It was good. Yeah, we recorded it, so I'll be able to post it later.
Oh, good. I was going to get on that, but we had one and I just got off of it. They had like over 500 well, you can only have 500 participants and they maxed it. So then they ended up putting it live on one of our sites. So it was
That's really cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Okay, so
think I
somebody's,
got-
so if it says she's waiting, so
Oh, is somebody waiting?
yeah, so did it let her in?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, there you go. So you got it. Perfect. Thank you, Marie. So if you
Awesome.
could just kind of handle that
Yep.
for me, because I'm not able to see that while I'm like, got the screen sharing, or even if I'm full screen of me. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You
All
are
right.
welcome.
I think I got most of our regulars sent a message out so they at least can get on. I, of course, can't send a message to all 90 something people right now, but all right. Welcome, Tim and Kathy and David. And Kathy, can you hear us?
Yes.
Perfect. We cannot see you. If you'd like to be visible, you'll need to turn your video on. Hi, John. Same to you. John, looks like you're turning your video on now. David, can we hear you? No, not yet. Working on it? All right. He's got his whole system figured out. He will be up and running soon. John, can you hear us? Can we hear you? I did not hear you, John.
You did now. I just, yeah, you turn the thing on. It's amazing how it works.
Yeah, right. Tim, I see you're muted, but is your audio working? Tim? Yeah, okay, good. Cool, cool. All right, so because of this new password thing, you guys, we're giving just a few extra minutes for people to get on.
That is pretty new. I mean, I had to do it earlier this morning for another meeting.
Yeah, it started today. It was supposed to start on Monday from all of the updates I saw, but I guess they started it today. So brand new.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Rick.
Hi, guys. Got audio now.
Dave's got audio. Rick's got video and audio. All right, we're going to give it about 1 more minute in case anybody is looking for that password.
But wasn't that cute yesterday, the picture that I posted on Facebook?
Yes.
It was probably a family in the subdivision. They put on their Halloween costumes and just kind of walked around the whole neighborhood.
Yeah, I thought that was
I'm-
neat.
What did you post, Maria?
It was a picture of, it was kids, but then there was 3 adults. One was a minion and 2 of them were dinosaurs. They were walking down the road. All of a sudden, John's like, look outside. So I opened my screen. I go, hey, and one turns and I was able to get a picture of them.
Wow, Halloween already, huh?
Probably just to get people smiling, you know?
For sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good. Nice. Hey, it'll work,
Aw,
definitely.
thanks, Kathy. Kathy just sent me a private message and told me I look great with my hair pulled back. That's a very nice compliment, Kathy. I appreciate that. All right, and actually, while we're waiting on people, let me give you guys some fun announcements. The first one is that I happen to know that today is somebody really cool's birthday. So we should sing happy birthday to Marie.
Really? Really?
Are you guys down to sing happy birthday?
Sure.
Let's do this. Ready? Happy
go.
birthday to
To
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
birthday,
dear
Marie.
Maria.
Happy birthday
Birthday
to you.
to you. Yay!
Thank you.
Now I'm gonna eat your cake, Maria. I'm gonna get you a piece of cake. Hang on
All
before
right,
she
you
starts.
eat it for me.
You know, this morning my son came up here and I don't know what time that kid woke up today, but he was already like screaming at his video game by the time I got up. And he was like, Mom, I'm about to make a s'more. Do you want one? And in my head, it went, well, I didn't really eat breakfast yet, but it is a s'more, but I should probably eat something. Yes, please.
Well, yesterday, since my husband had to work 12 hours today, he's like, you know, since we can't go out anywhere, and he goes, and I know you like it, he goes, let's order JJ's pizza. So that's what we had was JJ's and chicken wings, and then we just kind of hung out for the evening. So that was kind of cool.
Nice. Very neat. Was that an early celebration then for
Yes,
your birthday?
yes.
Good.
And then this morning, my sons called, and then my sister-in-law called. So yeah, everybody's been calling and singing to me. So that was nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you know, I had one more announcement right here, but this person's not on the call. So I'm like, I wonder if I should say it or not until she gets here because like, you know, maybe I'll wait and see if she jumps on. But
Today's
if she does-
hashtag, right?
yes, today we're going to do hashtags.
Good. Good.
Yes.
I never had hashtags in cake. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate it.
Oh, he really has cake.
What?
Get mine.
What? All right, I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go grab a cookie.
Right?
Are we all gonna grab our favorite food?
Right, that's what I was saying. I should have just told everyone to
There
grab
we
their
go.
favorite
And
snack.
these are another
Right.
one of my cookies that I make. There's no
Ooh.
sugar whatsoever. The banana is your sweetener. So it's banana, oats, peanut butter, and then I use dark chocolate chips.
Wow.
Of course.
Man, I wish I could come get some of those.
That
This
sounds
is
really
really
good.
good, Barbara.
Delicious.
All right,
You ship
so
those out, Marie. You ship
I
those
have
out.
tea.
Just
We are getting goofy today.
All right. All right, let's jump into some training.
All right.
All right, I have Marie signed up as my co-host so that she can manage things for me as participants come in. You guys may have noticed that you came into a waiting room today. That's also a new feature helping Zoom to be able to save security, because you guys may or may not have heard the stories, but there have been people coming into random Zoom rooms doing very inappropriate things, sometimes showing up in the nude, on video, to random rooms. And of course, now that people are using this for business, that's something that's like, whoa, what just happened? And the host is not always able to keep up with everyone who's coming in and out of the room, because the host is typically talking and training and interacting and stuff. So thank you, Marie, for helping with the hosting today. If you happen to need help, if it gets too out of hand, I think that you can assign somebody else as a host to help you. You just click on their more button button to the right of their name. Of course, maybe private message them first and ask if they can help. And then so this new password thing will be the new normal for Zoom. So so we'll always use the same password, same link, same password. So put that somewhere that's easy to find. I did update the password in the announcement part where the Zoom link is on the page. So just so everybody knows, we may get more people trickling in as they start finding the password, because of course, if they're trying to text me, I won't be able to see it because I am teaching you guys right now. And earlier, before, when about half of you guys were on, we sang happy birthday to Marie because it's her birthday today. And so if you know Marie, send her a message or a birthday card or a piece of cake or something like that. And I had another announcement that I was waiting on because the person isn't in here yet, but she is on the call now. So I'm going to give my other announcement and then we'll start into training. So today I got a notification on Facebook that it is my 7-year friendiversary with Tracy Pullman. So that's pretty exciting. 7 years. Woo woo. All right.
Congrats.
I was on mute. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Friendiversary, isn't
Mhm.
it? Friendversary or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they call it.
Yes, something like that. You're
I
right.
didn't see it.
My
I'm
book.
doing taxes, so
Oof.
good thing you texted me on that password. I lost track of time.
Oh, good.
Almost done. Almost done.
Perfect. All right, so today we're talking about hashtags. And in fact, you know what, let me go live on this one for you. Well, maybe I won't. Why does my thing, never mind, my thing looks different. So, okay, I'm not going to go live on this one. I'll just post it later on Facebook. Okay, so hashtags, what are they? How can they help me? Where do I use them? How do I choose hashtags? Those are some of the things we're going to talk about. In the previous trainings of the social media trainings that we've already gone over, we've talked about using hashtags to be able to be found more, but I'm also going to teach you how to use hashtags to find your prospects as well. So the first thing, it is very important for me to tell you what hashtags are, just in case there's even one person that is watching this that is like, what is a hashtag? What is this woman talking about? So a hashtag is a word that becomes a link when you put a pound sign in front of it or a number sign. Depending on which generation you are, you probably call it something different. Millennials don't know this as anything other than hashtags. There's no pound sign or number sign. It's just a hashtag. But so that number sign that is, I think it's on like the number 3 of old time phones, right? The hashtag, the number sign, pound sign, whatever you call it. If you put that in front of a word or a group of words without any spaces, that becomes a link. And I will show you a little bit later in the video how some of these links work.
Oh.
Now, when you use a hashtag, the capitals do not matter. However, I like to, just like when I put my website in, like if I do fusebusinesstraining.com, I like to capitalize the F, the B, and the T just for easier readability so that people can see where the next word begins. I capitalize the first letter of each word. I do the same thing in my hashtags, but the caps does not matter. Whether it's capital, lowercase, and a combination of them, that doesn't matter when using hashtags. Okay, so if you put something in all capitals with a hashtag and somebody else puts it in all lowercase, it's the same hashtag. Okay. Any questions so far? Anybody still confused on what a hashtag is? All right, that's usually the most important, making sure everyone knows what we're talking about. All right, so how can they help your business grow? Well, when we talked about Instagram and Twitter, we talked about how important they are in the growth of your followers. Instagram specifically. In fact, the easiest way to increase your followers on Instagram is to use hashtags strategically. Okay, so you want to use hashtags on Instagram. And in fact, you'll notice if you really look on people's Instagram posts that people will put like up to 50, I think that there's a limit of 50 hashtags on Instagram. People will put up to 50 hashtags just to be able to get found easier. Now, I guess that's all fine and dandy because people aren't necessarily going to read through every hashtag you have, but they might end up connecting with you because of it. But if you're going to use that many hashtags, it is advised that right after you put your picture and then you put your text, right? So something about the picture, put at least like 4 or 5 spaces after your text before you include all those hashtags. Okay, so like and in some cases you have to put like a dot where the space is, otherwise it deletes those spaces. So a lot of times you'll see people where it's like dot, enter, dot, enter, dot, enter, and then they put a bunch of hashtags. That's just so that you don't necessarily have to see all those hashtags, but they're still working to your advantage. All right, and then the next thing is, how can you use hashtags? You can use hashtags both as a way to connect with people. If you guys can make sure to mute yourselves. Marie, I think you can mute everybody as the host as well. If people, you can mute people individually too if you need to. All right, so if, how can you use hashtags? So you can use hashtags to be able to find people that have the same interests as you, to build community. You can use hashtags to promote your business. You can use hashtags to find people who need you. So there's a lot of different ways that you can be using hashtags. And we're going to go through a series of steps here in a moment to help you figure out the best hashtags that you could be using and how to use them. The next question that I get a lot is, how many hashtags should I use in a post? Now, just a moment ago, I told you how there are some times when people put up to 50 hashtags in a post, which is good for Instagram. But when you're posting on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, the best posts, the ones that are the most engaged with and shared the most, have about 2 to 3 hashtags. So on Instagram, feel free to put the max 50 if that's what floats your boat. But on these other platforms, try to stick to around 2 or 3. Now that doesn't mean you can't use 4 or 5 every once in a while if you want to, but in general, try to stick to 2 to 3 hashtags. It also does not mean that you have to put hashtags in every single post that you put out there. Okay, you'll use them strategically. Next thing I want to introduce you to is what I call a hashtag bank or a word bank. So this is, we create these anytime that we're working with somebody on their social media platforms. We create a hashtag bank of about 50 hashtags that we can use in different areas, right? So if it's a post that has to do with their topic A, we're going to use this series of hashtags, right? If it's a post that has to do with this other topic or in this general region, we'll use this series of hashtags. And so, and you can mix and match them however you see fit in different posts. So I want you to make a note that you will be creating a word bank today, a hashtag bank, and it will be part of your homework. I'm going to walk you through how to create it and how to get hashtags on there. But you guys, what the really cool thing about this is the same hashtags that you use as hashtags, you can use those same words as keywords for your business on your website and in your blogs. You just take away the hashtag and put the proper spacing in it. Right? So if the hashtag was hashtag Fuse Business Training and I was using that as a keyword as well, I would just take away the hashtag and put a space between Fuse and a space between business, right? And training. And so you could use these interchangeably with your keywords for your business. So this is a double reward here. All right, the next thing, let's go into choosing your word bank. Actually, before we jump into figuring out your words for your word bank, does anyone have questions yet?
Yes, I'm confused when you just said instead of doing the hashtag, putting blanks. When
right.
you do that, like if we're doing LinkedIn, is that what you said? I'm like kind of like puzzled with it.
For instance, here I'm putting in the chat. So that would be if I used Fuse Business Training as my hashtag that way. And I wanted to use the same thing as my keyword. I would just take away the hashtag and put spaces. So same thing if I put, I could do real estate, I'm just typing this in the box for you. I could use real estate agents as a hashtag, but then also when somebody creates my website for me and says I need some keywords, I could just take away the hashtag and put the spaces in.
Okay, where are you putting those keywords at?
In the chat box. Oh, you mean where would you use you could use them anywhere, on your blog, on your website, in other mediums of advertising. If you were doing an ad and you were trying to target certain demographics, you could use these keywords as those demographics.
Okay, and is those keywords, is that something like, because I noticed like in my Facebook group, it asks for keywords.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where you'd put the, because I'm always confused with that.
Yeah, so you can put those in your Facebook groups as well. And anywhere that you can use keywords, basically what a keyword does for you is it helps people find you. So if they're searching for, like the example I gave with real estate agents, if I'm using that as a hashtag and as a keyword, if somebody goes to Google and types real estate agents, and depending on how often I use this and how many different places I use it in, I could end up coming up even though I'm not a real estate agent. My marketing could pull me to the top.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
So is
Rick,
that, Barbara, so is it because you've created that? You've created the word bank, that's why you can use them?
yeah, so well, you could use any keywords and hashtags that you want.
Right.
The word bank is just so that you can easily access them. So like when you're typing up, you don't want to try to remember what your keywords are or your hashtags. They're just on a piece of paper printed on your desk or on your a file on your computer.
Barbara, can you, before this training's over with, can you do an example? So for instance, you create your hashtag and then your link to, whatever you're marketing. So you might say, hey, you know what, I'm going to pick this ad or what have you that'll correspond with my message to that hashtag. So just,
Well, yeah, I think that Rick wrote in the chat here that using keywords might be a whole new training session. I think he's right on that. Even though you can really use these interchangeably, I think that we're getting a little more advanced right now, and that could take several hours to train on. So we're going to try to stick to the basics of hashtags right now.
So is Rick going to do a Zoom after you then? Okay.
All right. Yeah, we're getting a little too advanced. We'd be here all day, and I know you guys don't want that on a Saturday, even though the weather's not as nice as it was yesterday. All right. So let's jump into creating some hashtags. The first thing I want you guys to do is, even though hashtags might still be a little confusing for you, I'm going to walk you through a few steps. First thing I want you to do is just write down the first 10 hashtags you can think of. And if you're still like, I don't know what hashtag to use, think of keywords. If somebody was searching for your business, what would they probably search for? And then just put a hashtag in front of it. I'm going to give you guys about 2 or 3 minutes to try to write down 10 that come to the top of your head.
Are we just writing them for ourselves or putting them in the chat?
Right now, you're going to write them for yourself. Yeah. Later, you can put them in the group as a homework assignment. But for now, it's just on your own.
Should the hashtags be localized? Like, should we be saying like Valparaiso or an area when we are making a hashtag, or does it matter?
Right now, just the first 10 that come to your head, no matter what it is. Great question, Kim. Thank you. It looks like Rick said he was going to do a training session after this. Is that right, Rick? You said sure to something.
Sure. Yeah, hashtag banks are just a whole different, as you know, just a whole different thing.
Yeah. So
I put them in my notes. I have some for my business, some for my, my weight loss stuff or, outside stuff. So I have 2 different banks.
Yeah, good. Good, Rick. Thank you.
As I'm sitting here eating chocolate. But everybody's got to do it, right?
Hey, it's Marie's birthday. We can have chocolate.
Get it all over in one day and then move on, right?
Thanks everyone for all the prayers yesterday. KJ's iPad is being delivered to the hospital to her as we speak, so she will be able to join us on Monday.
Awesome. Good. Good. And you are welcome. And keep us updated and let us know. Whoever is a prayer in this group, keep praying. And because there was a good update today, right?
Yeah, she's doing well, but she will have to be there a while.
Mm-hmm. Right. And you're not able to stay with her?
I can't even visit.
Yeah.
No.
That's rough.
But one of our friends from church is a nurse on that unit. And she goes to work at 3 and she's taking her a bag of goodies.
Okay.
Including her iPad and her phone and her glasses and all that good stuff.
Okay, good. All right. Good. Okay, next thing I want you guys to do is write down 10 more hashtags, but this time they're going to be related to your business or industry. Whatever business or industry that you might be in. So if you are like Phyllis is an interior designer, she could use hashtag interior designer. She could also use hashtag designer. She could use hashtag
space plan.
Yeah, space plan. Yeah, anything that's related to your business or your industry. This is when I create.
Actually, I thought that's what we were doing the first time.
That's okay. That is possibly what came to your head the first time, but this time it's going to be business. So the first one was just anything that came to your head, right? This time it is business or industry related. Most people go business or industry related from the beginning, and that's okay. And so like when you could hashtag your business name in this as well. So Phyllis, going with you again, you could say hashtag design tech. You could also say hashtag design tech interiors. You could use both of those. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to write down at least 10 hashtags that go with your business or industry.
While you're waiting there, Barbara, I did something yesterday to kind of help create ideas for keywords. And I actually Google myself, Google your name. It's kind of interesting because you get to see what pops up in like the first 10 things. And some of the keywords are listed right in there. It kind of helps when you're trying to create your keywords.
Neat. So
the nice thing about that is that's how people are actually searching for you.
If
they type in your name or they type in what they think you do, that all pops up. So
nice. So that's a bonus homework assignment. Google yourself and tell us what you find.
Yeah, some people probably don't want to do that, but
well,
it's really important that people do that because I know a lot of people that you're trying to create your your living or create what you're all about. And
yeah,
it's not built overnight. It takes time, to do that.
Right, of course. Thank you, Rick. Yeah, I had a speech this morning for Toastmasters that I gave how to conduct productive meetings, and at the end of it, people still had questions for me. So I was like, well, just reach out to me. You can on the internet. I'm everywhere. Just put my name, you'll find me. Perfect. So now you guys probably have got 10 of those. The next thing I want you to do is write 10 more hashtags that are related to the locations that you serve. So that could be specific cities. It could say Northwest Indiana. It could say region. It could be globally. It could be internationally. It could be Indiana. It could say the region. Some of them could be very specific. Some of them could be vague. You could have a mix of both. So at least 10 hashtags related to the locations that you serve. Phyllis or David, I'm not sure which one it is. There's some background noise and you two are the only ones not muted. So if you're able to mute
It may
yourself.
be my washing machine. I'll mute myself.
Okay, thank you.
What do
And
you
then
put
Marie,
if it's like all over? Like, what do I put? Like, what words do I put?
do you mean like you could serve anybody no matter where they are?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can put like international or national, but you also want to put some local, like people who you, like if you were having live shows, where would those be at?
Well, every town in Chicago and
Put the ones you visit the most,
well,
or the ones you want to visit the most.
every
What's
year.
that?
Every year it's different.
That's okay, so update it every year.
Yeah.
You guys should be updating your hashtags about every year anyway.
Okay.
That's a good point, Tracy, thank you. And then Marie, if you can every once in a while, make sure there's nobody else in the waiting room.
There's not.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's move on to the next hashtags. If you guys fall behind, you'll have a little bit of time to make this up at the end. Now I want you to make at least 10 hashtags that are related to the target audiences you serve or the industries that you serve. All right, let's see. All right, looks like most people are done with that one. The next thing is that we are going to go to, and you could either do this on your own computer or you could watch on mine. We're going to go to hashtagify.me. Oh, I need to share my screen. Give me one sec. Very hard to maneuver my mouse with this brace thing on. All right, share screen. All right. Give me a head nod when you can see my screen. Perfect, thank you. All right, so hashtagify.me. When you come here, this one is going to add, you're going to write down 10 more hashtags in a moment from this site that are related, that are trending. So 10 hashtags that are trending that you could use. So this one, obviously, you would need to update more than once a year because, you know, trends don't typically last a year. So when you come to hashtagify.me, obviously the first one that shows up is the #1 most popular hashtag in the world right now, which is coronavirus. Everybody's using it. But so you can actually search a hashtag here. Actually, let's do the search in a moment. Let me show you how to do the popular. Up at the top where it says popular, choose that menu. And we're able to see last month's most popular hashtags. In order to see the ones for like this week and stuff, or the ones that are active right now, you have to pay for their upgrade, which if you look around on this site and it makes sense, then go ahead. But right now we have, let's see, let me move this a bit. Oh, is it only, what is it doing? Well, it looks like they want you to pay even more, period. Okay, it used to show you the top 30 of the last month, but for some reason it's only showing me 3 now. So that's not going to help you guys very much. Let's see, last week's, let's see if we can do that one. Nope, yeah, see, it wants you to upgrade, but here, let's see if I can, just for fun, let's see, try it for free, how much info it asks me for. Oh yeah, it's probably gonna want me to put in a whole bunch of stuff. All right, so let's not do that. Let's come back over here to find, and you can see how hashtags are doing. So for fun, let's just use coronavirus hashtag. So search. Oh, okay. So now that we do it, it shows recent popularity, see right here, and overall popularity, and then the monthly trend, the weekly trend, you get the full analysis. I'm sure you have to pay for that. But if we come down here, it shows us related hashtags to that. So some of the hashtags you guys already chose, you could put in the box up here and come down here and it will show you related hashtags, okay? So let's use an example of one. Somebody tell me one of the hashtags that they've already put up anywhere on your list.
Simple style.
What was that? Simple style?
Simple style.
Simple style. There isn't enough data for simple style as of right now. So Tracy, that's not your business name, right?
No.
Okay, so that may be a hashtag that, unless it becomes, you know, something in the future, like where people will use it more often, you may not get very much engagement on it.
You misspelled style. So
Oh, did I?
S-T-Y-L-E, yeah.
Is that it? Okay, let's try again. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now if I come down, did it finish doing it? Search. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Let's see. It's not taking me down there. Let me see if it was just that one or if it's going to let me try it with a different one. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I think my screen froze. Let me refresh it. All right, now let's try. Oops. Simple style. Here we go. All right, so it does look like it's increasing in popularity by the monthly trend. So if you come down here, then related hashtags. So it doesn't appear that they have enough data for relate. Oh, there it does. Okay, I was going to say that. Do they have some? Okay, yeah, they have a little bit in here. And as you can see, they're kind of darkened. You need to hover over them to find them. So fashion, I'm assuming you already have that one, Tracy.
Yeah.
Jewelry design, you probably have that. What does anybody know OOTD? Some of these cool kid language. Etsy Love and Etsy Seller. I don't know if you sell on Etsy, probably not since it's Premier. But no. So these are some of the things. So it appears that people who are using Etsy are maybe using this hashtag more than other people, because those are the two biggest ones. All right, and I'm going to throw the word business in here too, because I know that there are several people on this call that probably have that as one of their hashtags. So as you can see, some related hashtags: entrepreneur, marketing, digital marketing, startup, social media, SEO, success, tech, leadership, news. Anybody else want to throw one out here? One of
On
yours?
healthy living.
Healthy living. So if we scroll down, here's some of the related: healthy eating, weight loss, diet, healthy lifestyle, fitness, healthy food, fit, nutrition, and then of course the big one, health. And then what you guys could do is you can click on this, it's like on the word health itself, and then it will show you the same thing for health. It will show you the popularity, it will show you more words related to that. So you could take the word nutrition then, and just keep fine tuning it until you have as many as you can find here. Now, won't let me do more than that either. Okay, so let's see. Running. Tim, I'm doing this one for you. I think you're still on the call. So some of the related hashtags: shoes, Nike, training, every moment counts. That's a good one, Tim, if you don't have that one yet. Runner, health, fitness, marathon, workout, and of course, run. This one's just for fun for Rick. So baseball, of course, you have MLB, card, jersey, Yankees, tops, auction, deals, cards, Red Sox, sports. Was Red Sox the one you were wearing, Rick?
Yeah, Red Sox.
That's what I thought. Look, I'm learning something. All right, let's see. Who else is on this call? David.
Barb.
Yeah.
Okay, how about ACA plans?
I'm sorry, what was that? ACA plan?
Yeah, capital A, capital C, capital A, and then plan.
The capitals aren't going to matter, but it might be
Okay.
ACA might be a better one, because ACA plan didn't bring up enough data.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let me try ACA, because that, it sounds like it's the name of a program, right? Of you do.
So Obamacare.
Kathy does healthcare, so this is probably a health plan. Is that right, Kathy? Okay. So let's see. So
Oh,
ACA, yeah. Look at, and John just said Obamacare, and so yeah, here that's the first thing that pops up, and then of course healthcare, Medicaid, P2. Kathy, do you know what P2 is?
No.
I'm not sure either, but it's related, so it might be something you want to research. Same thing with TCOT. When you see things like
Give
this,
some
you
numbers.
guys, what's that? I'm getting some kind of feedback. So yeah, and then here's a good one for you, Kathy. Get covered.
Yeah.
And that's a real good one. So yeah, as you guys put in, and yeah, let me try the ACA plan again, because just to make sure. Yeah, it says there wasn't enough. So just the ACA is what's going to work for you, Kathy, if you just use ACA, hashtag ACA. Now, you don't have to put the hashtag symbol when you're clicking it in this box. That's why I'm not. But down here, and Kathy, when you do it in your marketing, you will use capital A, capital C, capital A, because it looks better that way, right? But when I was testing it here, it didn't matter if I was doing capital or not. Let's see, who else do we have? Dave, you do, let's do taxes. And this actually could relate to a few people that are on this call, and even some of the people who aren't on the call but might watch it later. So there's a lot of you who at some level deal with tax stuff, right? Well, and anybody who's a business owner, you deal with tax stuff at some point. All right, let's see. Give it just a moment. I think it's trying to, hopefully it's still loading. I know there's related hashtags. There we go. Personal finance, tax return, GOP, money, tax, IRS, economy. Economy is probably a really good one to be using right now, no matter what industry you're in. Business, TCOT, and tax refund. I'm surprised.
Barb, I got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, try hashtag unaffordable I don't care act. No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say,
no.
I don't think that's gonna pop up, but I would do it.
It would be hashtag tax-free income. Tax-free income.
All right, so if I scroll down, here are the related hashtags for that. Make it rain. Look at that's a fun one. All right, so let me give you guys a little tip now on hashtags. So now that you know some hashtags that you could use in your marketing, let me teach you something about hashtags that most people don't think of. Those hashtags we just came up with, you can use when you post things. But there's a whole nother list of hashtags that you need to have that you can search for people who need what you need. For instance, if I am super unhealthy and I need what Marie has to offer, and I don't know that I need what Marie has to offer because I just don't know what I don't know. All I know is that I'm tired and I don't have energy, and maybe I'm overweight, or whatever the issue is. I'm going to type in something very different than what Marie would be using to explain her product typically, right? So for me, and I always use this story when I was probably back in, what year was it? It was probably around 2010. Yeah, it was right after I had Haley. So it's 2011 because she was born in December. So in 2011, I went through postpartum depression. And it lasted for about 3 years, and it was very difficult. And I remember having posts that I posted on Twitter. Back then, Twitter was the platform that I used the most. And I remember having posts where I would just say something, and then I would hashtag words like "so tired of being so tired," or like hashtags like "parenting is too hard," or just like things that like when you're in an emotional state and you really are desperate for something, you don't type healthy living, right? Or you don't type exercises, or like you don't do that. You type what's on your heart, what's hurting you, right? So up here in the search box, I'm going to use the example that I had before. Hashtag "so tired of being so tired." Look at this. Back to bed, king of morning, going to bed, had a long day, pushing for an early night, right? Like just all of these posts, Marie, of people who could, I assume you have something for people who are tired. I don't know. I don't know enough about your stuff yet, but I'm assuming. But here's the thing, all these people who are just always so tired, this can't be the first time in their life that they're tired. Otherwise they wouldn't be using this hashtag. Right? So all these people who are basically begging for an answer. And now here's the thing, you can't just reach out to them and be like, hey, I have something for you, right? Because that's salesy and that's spammy and nobody likes that. It's a turnoff. So what you would have to do is you would need to first connect with that person, start a relationship, nurture that relationship for a bit. And it might take some time, but as we know, if you know what your value of a sale is, right? Your value of a customer, you know that if you get a customer, even after nurturing that customer for several months, the payment on what that customer will pay you over their lifetime could be worth nurturing them for months, right? So you need to know what the value of a lifetime customer is for you, and then you need to put in the work to earn that lifetime customer. Let's see, somebody else, I'm going to use another tax one. I hate taxes, right? This is a good one for you, Dave. So you have people who are using the hashtag I hate taxes. There was a real popular one way back, I say way back in the day, I make myself sound so old. It was I hate Comcast. And like, I actually used that hashtag because I just couldn't deal with them anymore. I'm a very patient person. And when I got to the point where I would get tensed up because I had to call Comcast, that became an issue, right? And so here, I hate taxes. Dave, you've got all these people who hate taxes. You could reach out to them, and here's what happens. Let's say that you connect with Brian, right? This guy, Brian here, you hit follow. When you follow someone, they get a notification that you followed them. So they're probably going to look at your profile to see if they want to follow you. While they're looking at your profile, that's the first time that they'll see your post of how you have tax-free retirement options. Now, of course, not all your posts are going to be about your business. There's going to be motivational posts on there and stuff like that, so that people really feel like they want to talk to you and get to know you. So then at some point, after Brian follows you back, or even if he doesn't, because again, you may need to nurture it, you reach out and you say, you know, maybe he posts something like this later down the road again. And you say, hey, Brian, I noticed you post a lot about hating taxes. I have some solutions that I could offer to you for free. Would you be interested in a 30-minute talk so I could give you some ideas? Okay, if somebody hates taxes and you're offering to give them 30 minutes of free tips, do you think he's going to say yes or no? Mostly probably yes, right? And so you've got a 30-minute consultation with this guy now that you're giving him free tips. And then it's your job at the end of that call that if you know that he needs you and you could help him, to offer him more than what he's had. If you don't feel like you could help him or he's not ready, make sure you get him on your email list so that you can keep reaching out to him. And when he's ready, he knows who to go to. You can educate him during the time when he's not ready to buy. Does that make sense? Awesome. All right, let's do somebody else's. Somebody shout out if you have an idea. Otherwise, I'm going to start picking more.
Color schemes.
What was that, Phyllis?
Color schemes.
Color schemes. Okay, now again, Phyllis, I want you to keep in mind, this is going to be a good one for your branding. Most people probably don't search this themselves. The people using this hashtag are going to be the people in the business of design, as you can see. It's not normal people using this. So for you, Phyllis, it could be, let's see, ugly house. Right?
Right.
I don't know. My house is ugly. I don't know if anyone used that. Let's see. Oh, look at people use my house is ugly. Phyllis, here you go. Write that down. My house is ugly. Make sure that, look at this one. I don't like having people over. My house is ugly. Phyllis, you could be reaching out to these people. But again, make sure you don't reach out being salesy. You first connect with them, nurture a relationship, and then when the time is right, you let them know how you can help them. Okay? Now, there have been times that I've actually said to someone, like I've shared this with them and I've said, listen, I'm going to be straight with you. When I friended you 3 months ago, it was because you put out this post that said this. And now that we built this relationship and we're 3 months in and I like you and you like me, I really want to tell you how I can help you with what you said in this post. Is that okay? And I'm actually thinking about it. I don't think I've ever had a time where somebody said, no, leave me alone. Right? So like, it's okay to be honest and transparent, but at the beginning, you want to build that relationship and genuinely build that relationship. Don't be building it with the mindset of, well, someday I'm going to get to sell to this person. Really try to help them. Even if they don't ever pay you. I mean, don't give away too much for free. Know where your line is to stop offering free stuff. Okay, and then, I want to give you guys another one. Okay, so let me, Kim, this is a good one for you because right now everybody is stuck at home with their kids, and as much as a parent loves their kids, sometimes they don't really like their kids, right? And so when I was sharing with you guys my story, I used the example, parenting is hard, right? I legitimately used that hashtag. I remember it. And I could probably still use it today. Parenting is hard. It's like the hardest job I've ever had in my whole life, but it's also the most rewarding, right? It's such a intermingling mix of emotions, and anyone who's a parent understands. But look at all of these people that are saying parenting is hard. Like they want somebody to help them, right? So you go through, you find these people. Husband nighttime Riker, night, 8-month laughs and slaps him in the face. Okay, so like just things like that, right? Like just finding people who need you. Now, some of these people are just posting things and sometimes they're just ranting or complaining, but sometimes they're a legitimate post that is like, wow, this person could use what I have to offer. Right? And then, so for right now, while there's coronavirus, all these kids are doing e-learning, right? So e-learning is hard, right? Oh, that one, nobody's put that yet. Apparently it's not too hard. But Kim, maybe this is, my kid needs a hobby. I don't know if anyone uses this, but let's see. No. Okay, what about this one? I need a hobby. I bet people use that. Okay. All right, so all these people who are telling you I need a hobby, right? Like they're like saying, listen, I need something to do. Some of them, of course, are joking, but some of them are very, very serious, right? So you have to go through these. All right, we're coming up on 3 o'clock. Does anyone have any more they want me to test on the screen here? The purpose of this is that when you're using hashtags in your own post, you want to use the ones that are positive, that are going to promote your business. These ones that I was showing you, like I need a hobby and parenting is hard, you could use those a little bit in your marketing, but you don't want to overuse them in your marketing because it almost looks like you're saying that, right? But you can use these to search for prospects. And you guys, yeah.
I had a question.
Yeah.
Can you quickly recap the hashtag? You had 10, 10, 10, 10, and 10, a total of 50. Can you just go over it real quick?
Yeah, so the first 10 was just anything off the top of your head, anything you could think of. The next 10 was related to your business or industry. And then 10 that were, related to locations that you serve. And then 10 that are related to industries that you serve or your target audiences. And then the last 10 are trending hashtags. And keep in mind that the word love is always the most trended hashtag in the whole world, no matter when it is. It's just very, very popular. It always has been. It always will be. And so if you're ever at a loss for a word, try love.
You got it, Barb. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. So business, no, I don't want to do business tips. I want to say I'm trying to see how coronavirus and business could be related in a hashtag here for.
Hey, Barb, I was thinking about one was pension, the PPP, hashtag PPP.
Barbara, what about stuck at home?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. So PPP, yeah, definitely has some. It is mostly used by people who are offering PPP, but not only. So that would probably be a good one for you to use, Dave, currently.
Right, currently.
Yeah. All right. And then Phyllis said stuck at home. So this might be a lot of funny stuff. Let's see. That's a blog, things to do when you're bored and stuck at home. That was timely, right? Yeah, I don't know if any of these ones are going to be useful for anybody.
Maybe not.
So, comment and color this plaid design. Yeah. Okay. So now you guys have some ideas. Does anybody have any other questions? Okay, let me just look through the chat real fast, see if I missed any. Would you hashtag the organizations you work with? Yes, you can hashtag the organizations you work with if it's relevant to the post that you are using. Can we check hashtags on LinkedIn or Facebook? You can, but it's not as easy as it is on Instagram and Twitter. The people don't use hashtags as much on those. They should, but they don't use them as much yet. Oh, and that's actually a good point. On Facebook, you'll notice that people use hashtags in a little bit different way, especially the younger generation. It's kind of like a drop the mic moment where they will hashtag an entire sentence. And like, you can't even figure out what the sentence says because it's a whole sentence and you're trying to figure out what the word, it's very confusing. And that's not marketing. It's just fun. I've definitely used that in the past a few times, not full sentences, I don't think. But that wasn't a form of marketing. It was just a form of being fun, having fun. Let's see. LinkedIn will give you all the hashtags you have used before on a post when you're posting. Good point, Rick. Yeah. So when you are posting, it will even give you recommendations of hashtags based on some of the ones you've already used and based on what you have in your current post. So LinkedIn helps you figure out your hashtags, which is pretty cool.
And then, Barbara, is that the same thing with the LinkedIn? Maybe do 2 to 3 hashtags per post?
Right. Yep. So now that you guys are creating your word bank or your hashtag bank here, you guys should have probably about 50 or more hashtags if you were keeping up when we were going through it. Put those all in a Word doc or in a Google Doc or something like that, so they're easy for you to get access to, and just copy and paste the ones you need each time you do a post. And if you're working with a social media manager, just send them that list and they'll utilize those in your post for you. And they'll probably even come up with some of their own. All righty. Any other questions?
I don't think
All
so.
right.
Barbara, I'm going to get off here and look at that site, and I'll text you what I think.
Okay, do you want to mention it to people before you get off? I know you haven't looked at it yet, but you can.
I haven't looked. Go ahead. You go ahead and tell them.
Okay. I was like, you can be confident because I did it. But all right, so Phyllis has on her website now an opportunity to do a virtual e-design. It's a super simple button. You click on it, you fill out a little form, you make your payment, you book your time, and then you can have a Zoom meeting with her, and she can help you any room that you choose or any area that you choose. She can help you to organize it or design it in a way that makes you feel like you want it, however you want it to feel. And her motto is taking spaces from blah to ah. So before, when I had this blue screen that's to the right of me now, that was a very blah look, right? And now I have this and it's like, ah, look how pretty that is. And while Phyllis wasn't the one who helped me with that, that's a very good example of what Phyllis can do for you. So, all right. So that's it. Phyllis, can you put your website in the chat box for everybody, please?
I sure can.
Design Tech Interiors.
And I'm not real sure. You'll have to talk me through how this calendar link works.
It's super simple. I've already connected it to your Gmail and to your payment processing. So somebody clicks on it and you don't have to do anything, Phyllis. You'll get an email and you just.
Oh, I'm good at that.
All right. So, and actually, you guys, if you don't mind, even if you're not interested in booking a session, if you want to check it out just to give Phyllis some feedback on if it was pretty cool, then that'd be cool. All right. And then David's going to have a website coming up next week too, so he'll get to announce his.
Yes. We'll have an Uncle Sam party. Drive all that money. No more Uncle Sam.
Are you going to wear your costume?
Yeah, I might just do that.
There you go. Yeah. Dave will show up in his Uncle Sam costume next week. All right, you guys, everybody have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, no, not tomorrow. No meeting tomorrow. I'll see you guys Monday.
Monday.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.